share in chat where are you joining in from so that we know how far our voice has been reaching. So I know we're going as far as Toronto, as Qatar, Doha, Qatar, with Ali. Toronto.
Hello, Hamad. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I'm from Doha, but I will be in Toronto very soon, maybe next 2, 3 months.
Yeah.
So definitely it's an opportunity for me to introduce myself and ask some questions. Yeah.
Sure.
Hi,
Great.
Ali. We look forward to having you in
Hello.
Toronto.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm looking forward
So we
to.
have
Yeah.
Toronto. We have Mississauga. Please keep sharing with Brentford. Yes, Sonia is joining in from Brentford, Toronto. Superb, superb. Awesome. And then we have an amazing community joining us on our LinkedIn as well. So you all can ask questions. Yeah, like, you know, of course, those who are with us on Zoom will have the opportunity to ask question live. But those who are joining us on LinkedIn can always send us questions into the comments. And I will be multitasking. If you see me going, you know, taking a pause, that means that I'm doing something else as well. And the community is there. So we have Scarborough, North Yorks, Newmarket, Toronto, Brentford, Mississauga, Toronto, and as far as Doha, Qatar. Superb. Let's start this session now formally. My name is Amas Siddiqui. I know a lot of you already know me. Those who don't, I coach newcomers how they can use LinkedIn to find their opportunities, not only in Canadian job market, but, you know, I've got clients almost in every country that actually are engaged with me and learning from me. This is an event which is organized in collaboration with the Career Foundation. Career Foundation is a superb organization, and they've been working with newcomers, helping newcomers for the past 34 years. And it's an Ontario government supported project, which means that some of the funding comes from the government, Ontario government, and through that funding, they run these amazing programs to help newcomers find their space in the job market. Upskilling and reskilling is what I always advocate for. Whatever we have done back home may not necessarily be applicable for the Canadian job market. So our opportunity is to learn as quick as possible so that we could find our dream job and start living our dream life in this beautiful country. So thank you very much. We have three amazing friends from the Career Foundation joining us, Maham, Kamar, and Zaitoon. I had the opportunity to meet Maham a couple of times, also Zaitoon once. Haven't met Kamar, hopefully soon we'll meet. So a quick introduction, the sequence that I have using that sequence. The program will follow. Our Career Foundation team is going to make little presentation, very targeted presentation to share with you what they do in what space. And after that, we'll open up for Q&A. So it will be very crisp, very targeted, very focused conversation. Next 50 minutes is all yours, basically. My job was to bring everybody together, which I think I've been successful in doing. So while they are talking, I'm going to go back and look at LinkedIn and see if there are any questions there, and then we can bring those questions. So I'll first introduce Maham Khalid. I mean, all of us are immigrants. So, you know, it's the same family. Maham has over 15 years of experience in HR, project management, organization effectiveness domain. She brings in wealth of knowledge about the industry, insights about what is happening in the industry, what kind of requirements are coming in from employers. And she's worked in corporate sector as well as in many other industries within Canada. All of them are community workers. So we all call ourselves community workers. Also, okay, we get paid doing whatever we do, but we are there to help the community prosper. So she is working with at Career Foundation, and she has her own domain that she looks after. She's going to tell us about that later on. We have Kamar Shalve joining in. She's the program coordinator. And her specialization is network cabling program. She's an MBA, and she is going to tell us what exactly this network cabling program is, what kind of opportunities are out there. And then we have Zaitun Umar. Her specialization in HVAC industry, and she feels that it's very lucrative. And I know it is lucrative because once you have that license, then you are literally making tons of money, and you're working as a solopreneur. So I'm very excited to learn from all of you about these opportunities, and all those newcomers who are stuck back home, whatever they've been doing previously, please reinvent yourself. This is a country that brings in more opportunities, new opportunities for you. So don't get stuck in your past. Live in today's world and see what you can do, how you can build your careers in this amazing country. So over to you, Maham, to lead the whole discussion, and I'll be doing a little bit of my back end work.
Perfect. And thank you so much, Ahmad, for organizing this, for all the amazing back-end work you do every day. Truly, truly appreciate it. So is everybody good with my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So today we are just going to give you a very high-level overview of the Ontario Bridge Training Program. We come from an organization called the Career Foundation. So we are a registered charity.
Sorry, my mistake.
So we're a registered charity and a nonprofit. We've been here for 34 years, and all we do is employment. And this is something I always whenever I meet a government official, this is one thing I ask them. You have so many immigrants coming in. What's the outcome? Because you see, we come to Canada with a dream. We want to have a better life for our families, for our children. But then when we come here, there is a struggle, there's a challenge. The market is saturated. So employment is a huge concern for all immigrants. I was an immigrant myself. Our entire team is primarily comprised of immigrants. And this is what we do in our organization. We help not only immigrants, but people of all ages, abilities, and skills integrate into the job market. So I'm just going to give you a very small overview of what we do. So basically, we have under the larger organization, we have 5 Employment Ontario hubs. Apart from that, we have specialized programs. Now, these specialized programs, for all our programs, basically the outcome is employment. We have programs for self-identifying women. We have programs for the construction industry, arborist programs. So we have a host of different programs. And what we do is we are sort of a liaison between employers and candidates. So we help for more than 4,000 plus people find jobs last year alone. And then, of course, in our database, we have like over 2,500 employers. And what we do is we are job matching. We are hosting a lot of employer webinars. We are hosting job fairs, open for everyone, trades awareness sessions, employment coaching, and job search support. So if you're interested, I would highly recommend go check out our website, the Career Foundation, and you can see the kind of services we offer. We also offer like lots of trainings, how to improve your resume critique session. So we have a monthly calendar. Now, coming to the programs that we're going to be talking about today, we are going to be talking about the Ontario Bridge Training Programs. Now, the goal of these programs is not getting you a degree. We know you have extensive experience from the countries you're coming from. The goal is to get you micro credentials and a sort of a boot camp to help you integrate into the job market. And the goal for these programs is not to help you find a placement or an internship. It is sustainable employment. So, our team works with all of you, like all the people who come into our programs, we work with them one-on-one on these programs and to recognizing your previous experience and education and help you find a job that kind of aligns with what you're looking for. So we have 3 bridge training programs, 2 for the trades, HVAC and network cabling, and 1 for IT. So I manage the Foundations in IT program. Now, the goal of this program is to be helping until September 2024. We will be helping more than 180, internationally trained immigrants integrate into the IT domain. And then again, recognizing the need in the market. We know, like, the pandemic pushed things. Companies were already moving their information, their data from, conventional data centers into the cloud. So now the data that is secure. So the training that we give you is to, kind of encrypt and manage data into the cloud. So we are giving you training for cloud CCSK and cloud security architect training. And of course, I'll give you the overview, but the market is big. We all know about this. And from all the bridge training programs, this is like, I think one other does this, but the cloud security training is only offered through us. And the industry is booming. There's so many risks. We hear about, data was compromised. I think recently it was McKinsey that was compromised. So again, the market, there is need in the market for professionals. And of course, immigrants in tech. We have so many immigrants coming into Canada, and there is need for skilled people, for skilled IT professionals to kind of, integrate into the job market. So now coming into the training, this training is 100% remote. All the training, we use Zoom, we use Google Meets, we use WebEx. So all these different platforms are used, but this training is completely online. And the goal is not to get you a certification. Anyone can get a certification. You're sitting on LinkedIn right now. You can go on Udemy, you can go into LinkedIn, you can get all these trainings. That is not the goal here. What we are aiming is to help you develop a holistic candidate profile. And by a holistic candidate profile, what we mean is we want you to find employment, career success. So like my background's HR, I always say it's 50% your technical proficiencies, but 50% is how you sell yourself, how you position yourself in front of the employer for success. Hence, the training is 11 weeks, and it is delivered in 3 phases. So the first phase, you'll be working with the workplace communication specialist. It's a fantastic person we work with. And then what you'll be getting is 2 certifications. We've stacked up the certifications. And then again, towards the end, you will get essential job skills training. And this is just a very basic overview. I'll just give you details of this. Now, in terms of the workplace and business communications training, the trainer that we are working with works in so many different companies. They have extensive experience in oil and gas, in IT, in law, in so many different domains, essentially. And in these 2 weeks of training, it is full time. It is from 9:30 to 2:30. And you'll be, getting, an overview of cultural dynamics in the Canadian workplace, creating an elevator pitch. You will give a PowerPoint presentation to the class on you as a value proposition. So the goal is to, elevate your skills in terms of how you position yourself in front of employers. And this is a very sort of a hands-on sort of a training where you will actually be working with the team. You'll be engaging and, just talking a lot. So this is, like I said, the holistic candidate profile. Our goal is to help you develop that. Coming to the job skills training, this is, where our team starts working with you in the recruitment process to kind of, help you develop that, optimized resume, improving your LinkedIn profile, networking 101. We also have a lot of industry guest speakers come in. We have a guest speaker coming in tomorrow who's a director for alliances in a organization that helps manage data in the cloud. So again, we are trying to get you as much overview of the industry and connections as possible, because again, in the Canadian job market, it is also very, very important to network. And you will also have a small overview of foundations and project management during this training. Now coming to the beef of the entire training. So you get training for 2 certifications. You're eligible to write the exam. The exam cost is covered entirely by us. So the first training is CCSK, which is basically all the 14 domains of securing and managing data in the cloud, and things like data encryption, security as a service, all that. And this is the examination body is the Cloud Security Alliance. It's a global nonprofit. Definitely go check it out. So that is one. And the other one is through the Minute School and Durham College. And that is the cloud certificate cloud system architect, basically. And for this, the examination body is the FedEx Institute of Technology located in the University of Memphis. This part, again, all this training is delivered in collaboration with Minute School and Durham College, because we are getting you not only the facilitator-led sessions, but you're also going to be doing experiential learning, where you will be working hands-on, hands-on lab work using the Google, Azure, and AWS platform. And then again, once this training is done, you will be fully equipped to write the CCSK and Cloud System Architect exam upon completion. And like I said, the exam tokens are covered completely by us. Now, this all sounds fantastic. Are you eligible? So for this program, again, you have to be a resident of Ontario. You can either be a PR card holder, refugee claimant with a valid work permit, convention refugee with a valid work permit, even a naturalized Canadian citizen, like somebody such as myself who came in like 20 years ago, never got to work in cloud or cybersecurity, you would also be eligible, as long as you're able to showcase to us that you have previous education or experience in any domain of IT, you are eligible. We do require you to have, your educational credentials assessed. If you don't have it, that is okay. We go on a case-by-case basis. We will review your application, because sometimes, people have such extensive experience that, they would be good for this sort of a training, because our goal is to set you up for success. And hence we do this, we want these degrees and your CLB level 7, just to make sure you're able to run with the cohort. Additionally, all candidates coming through our program get free membership to KIPS. This is Canada's Association of IT Information Technology Professionals. Definitely go check them out online. We also do a SOFIA skills assessment. It's written as a skills framework for the information age, but it is pronounced SOFIA, which basically is sort of a development, helps you create a development plan as an IT professional to identify key areas that you need to work on. And then again, our team works with you extensively on developing, job search support, connecting you to employers. We have a job developer on our team whose job I always say is that he eats, sleeps, and thinks only about finding you jobs. So that is what it is. Now, in terms of the recruitment process, it is pretty simple. Go check out our website. There will be a form that, apply here. That apply here form basically takes you to an eligibility form. It's a very basic Microsoft form, just to ensure that you meet the eligibility criteria as per the funder. And then once that is done, our team will, if you meet the eligibility criteria, we do have regular information sessions every Thursday. And, again, we work on a first come, first serve basis. So if our cohort number is complete, we cannot take more people. Currently, we're recruiting for our July cohort. So if you're really interested, I would suggest move fast, because we are doing interviews right now. And there's a cap as to the people we can take. Once you send us your resume, we'll invite you for an interview. The interview is to ensure that, your skills align with what the program offers, and then we take it from there. So yeah, that's about it. And now I will request my wonderful colleague, Zaitoon, to please tell us a little bit about her program.
Hello, everyone. How are you? We're looking forward to having you in Canada soon. Yes, so like Hamad mentioned, we're all immigrants, and we've all come to Canada with dreams of having a better life for ourselves and our children. As for myself, I have been an entrepreneur back home. I'm from Pakistan. For 20 years, I used to run an event management and advertising company. I have an MBA degree. I went into the workforce when women were hardly, I've been to meetings where I was the only, female present in the room. So, back then I had both my older boys while at work. We moved to Canada in 2015, and I know that it's scary. It's like a scary journey to actually take the plunge and travel across the world, come to a new country, totally unaware, unprepared of what is going on. For careers, yes, like I said, I have 20 years of work experience. I've been an entrepreneur. We do have transferable skills, but like Hamad said, get the ball rolling as soon as you can. Change your mindset. There are so many different things that you can experiment with and work with in Canada that we were not able to do back home for certain reasons. For example, I always laugh and say, and my colleagues will sort of agree with this, that in another life, I'm going to be either, in the trades or be a handyman or do HVAC, for example, because from where we come, we are very conservative in our thoughts with the careers that we want to pursue. In North America and in the Western world, trades is a very big industry. From where we come, trades is not, it's not something which is encouraged or which we pursue as careers. But in North America, in Canada, all trades, whether it's HVAC, it's carpentry, it's electrical, it's plumbing, they're all very, very big, very lucrative. I can see Maham smiling, but they are. So people with HVAC licenses, I'm not even kidding, seriously make more money than doctors in Canada. I have clients who started the program exactly a year ago and now are self-employed. I have clients who've bought the businesses, HVAC businesses that were already running with funding from the government and now are self-employed. So HVAC is a trade, but let me clarify, trades like carpentry and plumbing and electrician in Canada have apprenticeship. HVAC till yet is not regulated that way. So with HVAC, it's heating, ventilation, air conditioning, cooling. In Canada, every single residential commercial unit will have a HVAC system installed, whether it's a building, whether it's a store. So basically you have heating, ventilation, and air conditioning all managed through the same centralized unit, which is called the HVAC unit. So HVAC has 3 different sets of licenses that you need. As in everything else in Canada, you need a license even for hair cutting, you need a license for skincare, even a nail technician. So that's the same thing with HVAC, you need a license. There are 3 different levels of licenses that you need. There is a basic G3 license, which is called a gas technician license. Then there is a G2 license and a full G license. Now with HVAC, the advantage is that you can get the G3 license through us, which is funded by the government. It's a fund. Again, it's not a loan, so you don't ever have to pay it back. You get the G3 license in 12 weeks. You can right away get the G2 license. There is no time wait or lead time required, no experience required. Because in the G3 license in the program, we also offer a 2-week co-op. So you actually get hands-on training in the 2-week co-op time, and you know how the Canadian the Canadian HVAC market will work. You will work with employers in that 2 weeks, and you go on to do your G2 license in another 7 weeks. So technically, 24 weeks you can be self-employed in the HVAC industry, or you can get a job starting anywhere between $35 to $50, $60 per hour, depending on your background and experience. And with experience, it doesn't have to be HVAC experience. You can have project management, you can have sales experience. And then in 2 years, where you can be self-employed, so you can maintain a log of the work that you do in the industry. And in 2 years, you can give a full G license exam. Once you have the G license, sky is the limit. Every single, for example, everyone is moving towards electrical cars. So the charging unit that is installed in garages, HVAC G3 license holders install that unit and they charge between $1,200 to $2,000 just to install one unit. I know someone with an HVAC license who just works at regulating swimming pool temperatures and doesn't do anything for the rest of the 6 months. So that's my aim. When I grow up, that's what I'm going to be. So that's the HVAC industry. Gas, sorry, Mom, can you go back to the previous slide? Yeah. So like I pointed out, the 3 different levels of license in the HVAC industry, there's G3, G2, and a full G license. What we offer is a G3 license through the government-funded bridging program that we have. It's a 12-week program, which includes a 2-week co-op that you do in an actual workplace or an HVAC company in Ontario. Yes, ma'am. Next slide. As Maham pointed out, our program is not just to get you the license. The bottom line or the aim of the program is to help you assimilate into the Canadian workforce and develop from there, right? So we give you, let's say, like a jumping ground to jump on, or, a ladder to climb, basically. What I tell people is once you are in Canada and once you've made the transition to a new country, everyone has a ladder to climb. All of us did. I started at the bottom rung of the ladder as a part-time job developer, though I had 20 years of work experience. But at least choose the right ladder to climb so that you're not wasting your time, right? So what we give you is that ladder. We give you the bottom rung and then you build on it. And that's the case with all three of the variants that we have. It's a jumping ground that you have. It's an opportunity for you to assimilate into the Canadian workforce. It's an opportunity for you to choose a career which is going to be lucrative and which you can build on in the long run. In the 12 weeks of training that we offer, like Maham explained, we have a workplace communication trainer who works with us, who's also an immigrant, who's very active in the circles. She provides complete Canadian workplace culture training. And then you have 7 weeks of technical training, which is done in person. Of course, you cannot learn something like HVAC remotely. So you actually go to a college which has simulation and experiential learning, hands-on with all the equipment that they have for 7 weeks. And then a 2-week co-op training also is included. So in the 2 week of co-op, like I mentioned, one of my clients bought the company that he worked for as a co-op student. They were selling it, he bought it, funded by the government, and now he's running that company. So that's the 12 weeks of training that we have. We also provide resume writing, interview giving skills. We have a lot of employers, top-notch HVAC employers in the industry who come into the training that we have, and they will talk to you, they will tell you about the opportunities that are out there in the field. It's just not technical. So with HVAC, it is just not technical. You don't have to be a hands-on technical, person, but you can get into something like, for example, HVAC sales. It's huge. It's a very huge industry. So you can get into sales, you can get into project management, depending on what your background is. Can we move forward? So as far as the client profile is concerned, if, like Maham has clarified, we basically cater to people who are immigrants. Whether you became an immigrant 20 years ago is not, the eligibility criteria. I have someone in my program who always wanted to be, it's quite inspirational. His story is very inspirational. He wanted to be an engineer back home, didn't have the financial means to do it. Came here 20 years ago, became a taxi driver, did that for 20 years. Now he's done HVAC. He just got the G3 license and the G2 license back to back. And he is doing brilliant. Like the co-op company that he was working for couldn't send me pictures of the work that he did. He's so good with his hands. It's just that he was never able to pursue what he wanted to do. So now he has a G2 license and he's looking at buying out a company. So whether you became a Canadian citizen or an immigrant 20 years ago, 25 years ago, depending on if you have any kind of technical background or related background, for example, if you have electrical engineering, you have mechanical engineering degrees, or people who've worked, freelance handyman in their home countries in refrigeration, in air conditioning, cooling, anything, you can be part of the program. We do have an English language requirement of 5. That's because at the end of the training, you have to give an HVAC exam, which you will need to understand. So yes, part of the technical training, but there is a written exam also. So that has to be cleared for you to get the license. Next slide. Yes, so this is like I said, for the HVAC industry, if you just Google jobs in HVAC, you will come across over 100,000 jobs right now active in the market. So HVAC it's not a booming industry. It's that the HVAC, it's been around, but the more construction, the more immigrants that come into Canada, the more opportunities there are in this industry. Like I said, every single residential commercial unit will need someone to manage the HVAC unit that they have. So it's a growing industry. It is not something that is hit by the economy. You can do your research, look into it. If you have any questions, do reach out to me. I'm sure Hamad, you will be sharing our contact details. Reach out to me if you have any questions, any clarifications that you need. I'm available. Thank you.
Can I ask a quick question right now, please?
Sure.
So for this HVAC thing, is it necessary to have a previous experience in engineering or something like that?
Not really. We're pretty flexible, depending on, what kind of experience you have and what commitment you show. Like I said, I have people who had no relevant experience or engineering degrees, but they, liked working with their hands, right? So depending on where you are at that point, I can be flexible. You can reach out to me separately if you want, and then we can look into it.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sajid.
Just very quickly, Zatun, and basically, the trade side is very, very strong in Canada anyways. And if you look at the construction industry, that is the only industry actually which is driving the whole economy, even in the difficult times. So where I live in Oshawa, all this agriculture land has been rezoned and a lot of construction is happening. So hundreds and hundreds of new homes, townhomes, condo buildings are coming up, and they all need HVAC. So thank you very much. Let's move on to our third presentation.
Thank you, Hamad. Thank you, my friends Zaytun and Maham. So I'm not gonna talk a lot about this program because pretty much we have the same criteria that other streams they have, but I'm gonna talk about the differences and focus on it. As Hamad was mentioning, it's a trade program and it is for 12 weeks. So that, as Hamad mentioned, the trade is very, very lucrative industry here in Canada. And there is a huge demand, especially in the manufacturing and telecommunication industry. The increase of the demand is, I'm not sharing the slide. Yeah, so the increase of the demand of the so Mehdi, we will take all the question after the end of the presentation. Don't worry, we'll get back to you soon. So the increase in the demand for the internet service, fiber optic and networks has been really huge since the COVID, and now with the new technology and the need of working from home and additional telecommunication and cable services, there is also a huge demand for having this type of field, which is in the network cabling. The government and the private sector are investing in these training program and technology to support and to expand the trade and ensure that Canadian business is competitive as competitive in the global market. Now, I want to talk about the network cabling. What is the network cabling? It's the physical infrastructure that allow computers, servers, and other devices to communicate with each other. It involves the installation, management of cable and connectors, such as a fiber optic cables and batches panels. A proper network cabling is essential for a reliable and high-speed data transition within any organization or within any construction building. Now, I want to talk about the firms that hire for these type of positions. We are talking about various industry, including telecommunication carriers, construction firms, network installation companies, data center networks, internet providers, IT firms, and electrical companies, and of course, the supply chain and logistic company. what you are going to be qualified to work as after you graduate from this program. There is a huge opportunities in the market, but I'm gonna mention name some of it, which is like network cable installer, assembler, assembly technician, help desk analyst, and data and fiber cabling technician. Beside that, data configuration if you have an IT background. Okay, now I want to talk about the success story. There is a huge success in this field as well, because this field doesn't require any type of license. If you have a previous experience and you have an education related to this field, you can join us for 12 weeks, and after 12 weeks, you can go immediately to work and either to go to your own business, create your own business. So this industry is not compulsive, which means doesn't need any type of red seal. And what do we mean by red seal? So there is a two part of industry in Canada, which is one required licensing, and another type that they don't require licensing. Network cabling, they don't require licensing. If you wanted to be licensed, that's a different story, but you can own your business and operate your business without have that type of license. Okay, now who would join this program? Someone who is so this is the same. Sorry, let's talk first about the component of the training, and then I'll go to who is going to be eligible. The component of the training is 12 weeks. It's a hybrid training, 5 weeks online and 7 weeks at Herzing College. You need to be able to commute to Herzing from Monday to Friday for 7 weeks, from 9 to 3. And after that training, you are going to come back working with us to have you a place in a job opportunity. As Zaytoun explained about the workplace communication, we have a very amazing instructor who provide our client with the Canadian workplace communication and introduce them to the expectation and how to deal with the conflict, all that type of information that needed. But when they go to the training, finish their training, they came back to us while we will do the job training and resume, cover letter. Everything will be prepared for them, and then start having one-on-one working with them to have them landed a job opportunity. I'm proud to announce that my previous cohort all landed a job opportunities, and now most of them, they are working. So as long as you graduate from this program, immediately you get to work in the field. Now I want to talk, before we talk about the client profile, I want to talk about the entry level payment. It is various. So some client would take up to 30 per hour. I have a client who started with 60,000 annual salary as an entry level. Some clients would start with the minimum wage, which is in Ontario 15.50. It's based on their previous experience. The more extensive experience you have, the more money you will get. So the beauty of this industry, we are not omitting your previous experience. We depend on what you have, your profile back home, what you have done back home, and we just brush up your information here to understand how the Canadian job market works, and then we place you in a job opportunity. So there is a huge opportunity for you to start with a high salary if you have a good experience. And as Zaytoun said, if you want, also you can climb up the ladder from the minimum wage until you reach the opportunity where you start making a lot of money. Literally, I have a client who started his own business last year, and now he's making a huge amount of money. So to go back to talk about the client profile, we accept him client profile, Canadian citizen, naturalized Canadian citizen, someone who has experience back home, and permanent resident, open work permit, refugee with the open work permit, and we accept as well for the 3 streams, the Ukrainian visitors with a QT visa, which has also plus that has an open work permit. same as HVAC, we accept anyone who has a telecommunication, electrical, electronics, or handyman. If you did install computers, you work with the iPhone place before, sorry, not iPhone, like a cell phone place before, all these can be considered toward your acceptance to this program. The language benchmark supposed to be 7+, but we are recently decided to go to 5+. So someone who has experience, maybe in also IT, doesn't have that language benchmark, they can definitely join us. And there is a huge opportunity for them also to be in the IT firms. Pretty much, I think I covered everything. I just want to reiterate that we ask all this program is funded by government, Ontario government, but we ask all the clients to pay $500. It's a commitment fees toward their education fees. It goes toward education fees, and it is less than 1/10 of the whole cost of the program. So all clients for the 3 streams are required to pay $500. Definitely, we can support. There is a different community partners that we work with. We can connect you with, and they can provide you with the loan for this 500. But unfortunately we can't accept any client without that. On top of that, the WES as well credential, we can, if you don't have it ready with you, we can help you get it, and we can help you with the also the financial support for WES. I think pretty much we cover everything. Just I want to mention that during our workshop, we have employers who we work with, and they come to also present, talk about the opportunities, and they get the opportunity to meet with the with the participant, and also they can immediately hire them during the workshop. I think I'll open now the floor to take your questions.
Thank you very much. Fantastic. I have just shared email addresses of all 3 presenters, so you can reach out to them directly. If you also put your email addresses in the chat, we will send you the recording of this session for you to review later on. Now, I have a question from LinkedIn. Tarun Sachdeva is on open work permit, and he's asking if he is eligible to take up one of these programs.
I can answer for this question. So any open work permit without a status, unfortunately, we can help. If they have a refugee status, definitely, or like a Ukrainian visa visit, we can help. But like only open work permit and student visa, we can't work with them.
All right. Okay. So now we are open for question and answers, and there is already, I think, yeah, I think it was also related to work permit. Yeah, also related to work permit. But if you have any question, like, I loved Sajjal's question, because ultimately, as Zaitun also said, if we do something which enables us to start a business or buy a business, that actually is so transformational. I mean, I put myself into those shoes. 36 years of my life was all corporate life. I came here, I was still working, but I never wanted to go back to the milling machine, as I call it. So I started my own little thing that I do, and it's growing. So once you are in your own business, then almost the sky is the limit. And I know a handyman who came to fix my the dishwasher and the oven. So my wife, she likes gas oven. So unfortunately, there was no plugging in. It was a proper thing, and we had to find a licensed. And I said, I just have to kind of connect it. There's nothing rocket science, but I still had to find a licensed person to come and do it. And he charged, I think, $300 for these 2 installations. It was literally less than an hour's job for him. So that kind of money that you can make. So as Sajal is thinking, I already know that he's thinking to do something and start his own business. I think a lot of you can do it. You are a serial entrepreneur, Sajal. I know that, and a lot of us actually become very successful in the Canadian market when we start something of this. So Gaurav is asking. He's on PR, Ontario, IT profession. Absolutely. So Maham, that's your thing, right?
Yes, I saw that, Gaurav. So definitely, I have posted links to all our programs individually, the website, the landing page for bridge training programs, and I think my email address is also in there. So feel free to send me your resume. And like, Kamar and Zaitun also mentioned, we work on a case-by-case basis because like you, we are immigrants too. I mean, when I started working in this area, the first thing I said was, I wish somebody had held my hand and guided me. Because this is what happens. You see, we come as immigrants and there's cracks in the system, or I don't know, the information just doesn't get through. So reach out to us. Even if you're not eligible for our programs, we will definitely help you find a solution. So, I mean, my email is there. So send me a resume and we'll take it. And do mention that you're coming through this session. So that way we also know, that we just met you.
Zaitun, yes.
For Asif, we are pretty flexible with, like I said, in my presentation, with the background and experience that you have. So depending on, what experience or what interests you've had in the past, we can look into it. Why don't you reach out to either of us separately and we can see where we can help you. And like Maham said, by virtue of where we are, and I wish we had the same, experience when we came into Canada. I came to Canada in 2015, and believe me, I was lost with, what to do because I was an entrepreneur. I had the germs in me. I mean, a 9-to-5 job just didn't appeal to me. Yes, what I do now, I love, but like for my husband with 20 years of entrepreneurship experience, when you come, people say, oh, you're not going to get a job. You have a marketing background. You do Uber, he's a realtor, he's doing extremely well. So, but he's self-employed, right? You need a lot of discipline, as entrepreneurs know. But there are many opportunities in Canada, in North America that you can pursue that we had not thought of when we were back home. So like my friend said, it's like a Tupperware box opening, right? You open a box and it's like a Pandora's box. There's so many different fields that you can get into. So don't restrict your thoughts with what you have as backgrounds. There are multiple bridging programs available in the market. Look for the term bridging. So all bridging programs are funded by the government, and you can look for bridging in your field also, or in a related field. So if you want to do some research before you come in, look for bridging programs. They're very helpful and they really help you create a network.
Sure, thank you. Sajal, you wanted to say something?
Oh, a lot.
Okay.
But I will limit myself to 2 things. One is what Hamad, you said, that Sajal is thinking of doing this HVAC thing and then starting his business in Canada. No, you're wrong about one thing. I'm not thinking only Canada. So I have a friend who stays in France, and he told me something similar for France. So I think these things apply to the entire Western world, including your Europe, US.
Yes.
And I'm actually,
whether whether like multiple, seasons, HVAC, even in Iran, for that matter.
I've never thought on those lines, Iran type, but I get the drift. And I have already reached out to you. How do I say, Miss Zaitun or just Zaitun? I'm still not familiar with Canadian courtesies.
You can call me Zaitun.
Yeah, okay. So I've already reached out to you via mail. I'm actually curious about this thing. I have absolutely no background in any kind of technical work. But yes, hands-on, I would like to know. I am an entrepreneur from India who would like to do the 9-to-5 because I value my work-life balance. So that's one thing I'm very keen about in Canada. I feel even the construction that's happening on the building next to our building, they don't work Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
This is refreshing for me.
Yeah. So for in Canada, being self-employed doesn't mean you have to work 24/7. I come from Pakistan, so that's how we were. I was you know,
You know
working-
that thing you quoted about
Yeah.
Tupperware box? That's
Yeah.
actually quoting from that movie Forrest Gump's Life is a
Yeah.
Box of Chocolates. You never know what you'll find.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you can become your own boss, and you know, you can basically manage your own time, even in jobs. So it's a different culture altogether, right? You're not expected to go above and beyond, you know, your means and resources. Like, you know, like I said, there are just so many things that, you know, you can look into. You reached out to me, I will definitely get back to you, and we can have a discussion, you know, maybe I can help you with some.
Yeah.
Done that already.
All right, so folks, we have 5 more minutes for Q&A. I see two questions here, but what I really wanted to suggest here is please network. And you know, you see Sajal sitting here. Sajal has been in my network for at least 1 year. You know, he just arrived. Like you arrived about 3 months ago, I think, 2.5
36 days.
36 days, right? Precisely 36 days. But he's been in my network. He took the training program and he actually invested into himself. So nothing happens automatically. And he is, I mean, you all are investing your time today. A lot of people dropped out. If you see, you know, we were almost 26, 27 the peak. That's fine. But those who are here with us should really consider moving on and build your network. And this is an opportunity. All, like everyone sitting in the room is a network possibility. So Nurul Zikaria, he said wireless design optimization engineer, living in Ontario, permanent resident, telecom industry, moving towards which virtualization and cloud. Absolutely, you know, this is what you can get help with. So talk to Maham, drop her an email. Omar Javed is living in the US. I mean, of course, this is, so if you're in US, but you're a Canadian resident, a citizen, come back to Ontario, make Ontario your home, and then you will be able to speak to them. If you're joining in from any other country of this world, and you don't have a PR or any status in Ontario, this program is not for you, unfortunately. Awesome. Anyone has any more questions? I don't see any question. Well, yeah, so there are questions that, of course, on LinkedIn as well. People are joining us from various countries. So everyone who has joined us on LinkedIn, please, this is a program only for those who are in Ontario and have been living in here on some kind of a status. So that's very important. Not work permit and not student visa. Haris Bani is a civil engineer, master's in construction management. I think that's a good program for you, Haris. So you know, drop an email to Maham. Neha, okay, Neha is, thank you, Neha, for joining in. Neha is into HR, but you know, Neha, you could actually at least spread the word about this program if you are not really into one of those things where you have to do something related to hatchback. Yeah.
Sorry, Hamad, Neha, it's good that you're here. I found an HR bridge training program for you. So please do connect with me on LinkedIn. I can definitely refer you to that team if you're interested.
All about networking. And you know, Neha and Maham were both in my last cohort. So that's how they know each other anyway. So
sure, I will do that. Thank you so much.
Super. US permanent resident. Yeah. So that's not for you, Umar, unfortunately. So we are 1 minute from our time. I mean, we can go on for another couple of minutes if we want, but I would actually like to bring back our Career Foundation team to share some parting thoughts. And we'll start with in the reverse order. So we'll start with Kamar, then go to Zaitun, and then to Maham this time. So Kamar, please.
Thank you, Hamad, for this opportunity. It's been as you said, this is our first time we met, and it's been incredible like experience. I want to reiterate for everyone, like we all immigrant, we understand how tough it is for the newcomers when they arrive to Canada. It's like I remember when I arrived to Canada, I lost like 1.5 years until I understood where I need to start from. But the moment I knew where to go, everything went very well. So we are here to help you, even if you think that you not interested in these 3 streams. Feel free to reach out. We will refer you to someone else. We would love to help because as like we understand how tough was it, and we wish that it would be a little bit easier on you. So yeah, thank you, Hamad. I appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Zaitun.
You're on mute, Zaytun.
Yeah, thank you, Hamad. It's been a pleasure. And everyone, like Kamar said, we're all immigrants. When you come, be prepared for the initial struggle. It is a transition. It is a difficult transition. There are ups and downs. Be prepared in your mind that, you're moving across the world, right? So it's not going to be easy. You're just not moving houses. You're moving countries. You're moving cultures. You're moving families, you're moving your roots basically. So be prepared, but stick to your end goals. So if like Sajal, for example, wants to be an entrepreneur, don't change your profession just because you're moving, or don't change your career path just because you're coming to a new country. Stick to it. Work comes, jobs will come, everything will get aligned. Don't get into a survival job and then just spend the rest of your life doing that. Yes, do a survival job, but on the side, start building something that you can see, working for you in the long run. That's all I have to say. So don't just, close the lid or I can't do this. Yes, you can. It's a very welcoming country. It's very, very conducive for immigrants. Everything is geared that way. So take advantage of it. And look for bridging programs in your field. There are multiple bridging programs out there. Look for bridging programs before you come. So do your homework. The bridging programs are very good jumping platforms for everyone. So there are multiple, like Maham just said, there's an HR bridging program. There are multiple bridging programs out there. Look for those too. Thank you. Thank you.
Super. Thank you. Thank you, Zaitun. And what Zaitun just said, I'm going to kind of wrap it up into my final thoughts. Exactly, I can resonate to what you're saying, Zaitun. Thank you. Maham.
Thank you, Hamad. And to be honest, I completely resonate with what Kamar, Zaitun have said. I mean, we completely recognize, because we've been on this journey ourselves, it's not easy. But it is, you have to be very strategic in how you approach this. If you're really passionate about the work you've done, then you stick to it. You don't let it go. But it is also to do with positioning, because there is an influx of people. There is fantastic talent. I see so many PhDs coming into my program, but the challenge is that you have to elevate that candidate profile. You have to position yourself in a manner that employers see that this person can fit into their workplace or can grow in the workplace. And do your research. We all three have shared so much information, but again, there is so many other programs out there. And we're all here to help, right? We're in this sector because you want to give back. I mean, I'm working in this sector because this is a promise I'd made to myself when I'd come to Canada all these years ago, that one day I am going to be at the other end. And this is what I'm doing. So we're all happy to help. Reach out to us and let's take it from there. So Mr. Hamad.
Thank you very much. So folks, if you're already in Canada, those who are in the process, believe me, you have taken the biggest risk in your life. It's bigger than jumping off a cliff, honestly speaking, because if you jump off the cliff, you don't survive. Okay. So there's no risk, right? You're gone. But you have taken the biggest risk in your life, leaving your jobs, family, friends, home, masala chai or whatever. You've come to a new country, which is very different. Everything changes as soon as you land here. everything starts from the wrong side, which means you get into the car on the wrong side, you get out of the bus on the wrong side, and you start speaking English all of a sudden, so which means that, whatever, you can't, sometimes you can buy bread without speaking English, but if you have to speak English, you forget. So all this is complex, right? It's pretty much isolated. Find these opportunities where you can network with people, find these opportunities where you can start investing into yourself to reinvent as a professional in the Canadian job market. I sometimes tell people, okay, you can spend a lot of money, go to a university, get another degree, but you need to really evaluate whether that degree is going to get you a job or not. It's your skills, it's your network, and it's the trade kind of things that are probably more interesting for some newcomers. So with that, thank you everyone for joining in. What we're going to do, we're going to share this video. We have recorded it. It's going to go on my YouTube channel. I'm going to share the link with everyone. And please spread this message about this great opportunity Career Foundations bring in for everyone. All the best, and thank you for joining in. If you have any questions related to the programs, you can reach out to these amazing ladies, and they will be more than happy to respond to you. With that, thank you very much for joining in, and hopefully we see you soon, very successful running your own businesses in Canada. Bye for now.